So, serious question. How am I supposed to explain to my children one day that they probably, by the time they reach my age that I am now, they probably won't be able to afford themselves or their life?
Millions of Americans are literally giving up. Like, day by day, they're saying, I'm done, I'm quitting, I'm not doing this anymore. Because we're all tired of it. On the realest note ever, the fact that everything in the freaking store is $5, good luck trying to get, like, I'm a single man and it still is about $100. If you're trying to eat some healthy quality foods, like, just to get out the store, then you go and get your gas. It's $5 at a minimum, like everywhere you go. So here's the thing. I'm making more money than I have ever made in my life, y'all. Like, for real, for real. I thought that if you made this kind of money back when I was younger, like 10, 15 years ago, I thought that, dang, you really might have made it if you made this kind of money. So it's the fact that I don't even know how anybody making less than, say, 25 an hour can afford to live in America right now. Like, you go getting a car payment, dude, that's $600. That's not even with the insurance, okay? You go trying to get a house, they are 7, 8 times the average income. So, like, the bare minimum house is $400,000. I'm just trying to say, dude, something's got to make sense because it's Memorial Day. All right. And I'm going to work, because if you don't go to work today, you're going to end up spending money that you didn't have to spend. Like, it's just, you got to stay ahead. And if you slip up, if you take a single break, gosh, dude, you're eating with the wolves. Like, that's how America has become.
Anyone else feeling more depressed than normal lately? I'm just curious. Like, just this, like, looming depression. And it's not like boohoo, lock yourself in a dark room depression, but you can feel something's off. My take is this. I just filled up my gas tank, and for $30, I got a day's worth of gas in my truck, essentially. And I'm realizing more and more of how fucked our economy is. I went through this last recession deal that we did in the early 2000s, and it fucking sucks. And this is all the signs of what it was. I mean, how many people out there right now have no credit card debt because you don't need to live on your credit cards? I make more money today than I did 5 years ago, by far. Yet I am tremendously broker than I was 5 years ago. If I would have made this money 5 years ago, holy shit, like, life would be amazing. But it's like, it's not enough. And now all of a sudden you kind of like feel like a failure, and you start to get in your head of like, why am I constantly stressed? I mean, are you driving around with your check, your fuel light on, or are you giving up your health insurance because you're trying to cut corners somewhere just to get some more money and cash flow somewhere? I don't know, man. I will say this. I think it's going to get a lot worse, way worse than this before it ever gets better. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with addiction. I think you're going to see a lot of people struggle with mental health. Like, it's going to get fucking crazy. Kind of like it did back then. And I don't mean to be like some, like sound the alarms or whatever bullshit, but I'm just like, I'm watching more and more people just using credit cards on shit and just not having money all of a sudden, and never slowed down the spending. And now all of a sudden it's like we didn't even slow down the spending and you're just broke. I don't know. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that this is just a little phase. I guess we'll find out. I just want to let you know, if you're struggling right now, you ain't alone.
When do you think they'll get it? When do you think they're going to understand that people cannot afford the lives that they want? They can't afford the children. The generations will continue to get smaller. People will continue having fewer children. When do you think that's going to happen? Like, it's not a matter of, oh, well, it's just like a minor dip. It's a matter of the fact that people can barely make it work on their own. Or if you're in a situation like myself, I'm finally making really good money. I'm not going to immediately funnel that to a freaking kid. No, absolutely not. And yet the cost of living is still insane. Inflation's still insane. Housing still insane. And it's like they just think that they can continue to escalate on every front and everyone's still going to comply. Like, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to collapse. Like, I just don't understand why this is all coming as a surprise for them. They just think they can squeeze more and more and more. Everyone's increasing their prices on every front and saying, why isn't anyone having children? Gee, I wonder.
I need to rant about the cost of rent in Michigan. So I'm getting ready to sell my 4-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom home in Michigan. And currently my mortgage payment is around $2,300. I thought about buying. The market to buy is absolutely psychotic, and so I thought, well, maybe I'll just rent for a year or so and save some money, and that will be great, right? No. Not, because what I've found as I'm looking at the cost of rentals is that for a 2-bedroom apartment, they want often between $2,300 and $2,800. And no, I'm not fucking with you. Who is paying these costs? Well, in one city in particular, which is Ann Arbor, I'm sure it's out-of-state parents that have quite a bit of money that are sending their teenagers to University of Michigan. And that has something to do with driving up the cost of rent there. But even in the cities that are surrounding there, the rents are psychotic. And I can also tell you that even an hour away, prior to buying this house, I rented for a year, and the cost for a 2-bedroom apartment was fucking $2,000. I can pay this if I have to, but what the fuck do they expect people to do who can't? All of the people that help our society operate, who make $50,000, $60,000 a year or less in many cases, they need a place to live. And I am honestly just on a daily basis, increasingly more and more disgusted with what this country has become. Because I can tell you, in that same city, in Ann Arbor, Michigan, in 2011, I paid less than $700 for a 1-bedroom apartment, pretty close to downtown. And literally 15 years later, it's quadrupled. I mean, I don't know. I can tell you right now that the wages sure haven't quadrupled. So good luck. Like, I don't know what we're going to do.
Grocery update, the West Virginia version. So I'm from outside of Philly, and groceries are high. They're high everywhere. I needed to drive down to my in-laws today to drop off some supplies for them. They're elderly. And I decided to stop at Aldi and then Walmart and make sure that they had enough groceries. And they're homebound, and they have caretakers that come in and take care of them. So I spent $175-ish at Aldi, and I literally got like the cheapest stuff possible. I bought pasta sauce, peanut butter, jelly, really basics, like the little turkey, ground turkey chubs, like the little, 1-pounders. I did splurge and bought a pack of steaks, but they were like the thin chopped steaks that you would make like a Salisbury steak with, something like that. Instant mashed potatoes, canned vegetables, things that were easy for their caretakers to kind of put together and, reasonably healthy. $175 for 5 bags of groceries. Not even, anything extravagant. Like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Then I had to go to Walmart, which was a block down, and the Walmart was insane. So the register, the scanner, it was all not working very well, and then the credit card, the debit card machine wasn't working, and the worker guy was like so nice. He was like the nicest dude, and he was just like, oh, you have to put it in and out 3 times and then swipe it. And I was like, what? Like, do I have to do a little spinny dance too? And he's just laughing. He's like, yeah, these have been broken for a while. They don't want to fix them, and they don't want to pay us to do checkout. He's like, they're busy being billionaires. So I'm like, yep, that's about right. And that was $140. $140 for a box of coffee, the store brand, dog food, 2 cans of fruit, like canned peaches and canned pineapple, and a rotisserie chicken. What? $140? So I spent between $310 and $320 today and did not really get much. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. And the thing that struck me was, this is definitely Trump country. And I'm in West Virginia. We know that's a red state. And it was crowded. It was definitely crowded. And everyone was like buying their groceries. And you could tell everyone was just very much sticking to their list. They were not deviating. They were focused on the prices. You could see it. You could see it.
I have not been on here in so long. And I just need to get my voice out. It is ridiculous how our economy is today. I work a full-time job. I have a 6-year-old kid. I'm married. You think I should be living the high life, right? Wrong. Everything's going up in price, and the expectation of us to spend money, and no wages are going up. Nothing is going up. It's just getting to the point where it's like, why aren't we angry? Why is no one doing anything? It's honestly just so frustrating to sit here and worry about how I'm gonna have my kid act like, pretend everything is fine, but it's not. It's so expensive to get my kid into anything. It's so expensive to basically have a job. My job requires me to drive my own car, and they pay me $600 a month as an allowance for my car. I'm spending about $100 in gas a week just to do my job, just to go do my job. Are they giving us raises? No cost of living adjustments. My husband and I, we would love to have a house. We would love to have a backyard. We would love to do all these things, but it's not possible at all. The trickle-down economy is not working. The poor are getting poorer. The rich are getting richer. And people aren't angry about it. Celebrities are, buy my merch, buy my tickets to my concert. Oh my god. No one's buying tickets. Yeah, we're struggling to buy food.
As a younger millennial, I'm really beginning to question when we're going to call it a day. You know, I mean, I know the vast majority of us have woken up, thankfully, and we've realized that we've been sold a lie, pretty much our entire lives, and that this American dream is not it's not attainable. It's not attainable. It was attainable for the older generations. As we know, they were able to work their 40 hours a week and reap the benefits. Whereas we have to work 2 to 3 jobs just to achieve the same results. And I'm in a position where realistically I will have to get a second job in order to better my situation. Potentially even maybe get a third to help pay down my debt. And I'm not doing it. I'm not participating in this. I'm not doing it. I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I've worked since I was 14 years old. I think most millennials are in the same boat. We've been working forever and we're burnt out. There's been many phases throughout my life where I've had to work multiple jobs just to get by. Just to get by. And I have nothing to show for it. I don't have a house. My car, I've been driving the same car since I was in college. So 10 years, over 10 years. It's falling apart. I can barely afford groceries. I'm living with my parents because I can't afford to rent on my own. People say, oh, we'll just get roommates. I'm 30 years old. I shouldn't have to live with fucking roommates. I'm an adult. I was able to live on my own before. Not anymore, though. All of our clothes are plastic. All of our food is poisonous. It's toxic. And we're paying top dollar for it. I don't have health care. Because when I was laid off, obviously, I lost my insurance. And I found a way to work for myself. But I can't afford health care. If I do need something, I'm paying out of pocket. The list just goes, it's never ending. And I think we're all just at a point where we're done. We're exhausted. I seek seclusion at this point. I want to go live off grid somewhere and just never talk to a soul again. I'll get a tiny home and just live in the woods. I want to be left the alone. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. And I'm like, at what point do we band together and try to fix this?
Or what? Or do I just, do I give up and just go get my tiny home in the woods? I don't know.
Well, let's start this rant off right. I fucking hate this country. I cannot be the only fucking one who has considered himself a patriot their whole life and supported their country that fucking hates it here. I fucking hate it here. I'm about to lose my shit. Only income for a family of 5. I fucking break my back, work 2 jobs when I have to, work side jobs. I make pretty good money as a carpenter for the union. Believe it or not, over $100,000 a year where in the area where I live in, and it doesn't mean shit. Can't buy a house because I can't afford a $4,000 a month mortgage payment. What makes this the greatest country? Because I'm about to flip out. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I got nothing to look forward to but paying bills and dying. Meanwhile, these can fucking rip off the country, get free housing, free food, this and that, and I'm over here breaking my back to even have Christmas or do anything, and this is the greatest country in the world. It's not. I can't do it anymore. I cannot be the only one who's literally about to just go buck wild crazy and do some drastic ass shit and just say f it all.
So please tell me how it makes any freaking sense that as a stay-at-home mom, I had $500 in food stamps, I had health insurance for my entire family, and we got $7,000 back on taxes. I go back to work, I lose my food stamps, I lose my health insurance, and we're only getting $100 back on taxes. And this is why people don't want to work, because why am I working my butt off and losing all that stuff and still living paycheck to paycheck when I was living paycheck to paycheck before, but I at least had food stamps and health insurance and got $7,000 back? Yeah. How's that math then? Yeah.
So I've got to pay my taxes, make sure they get it on time so I don't get in trouble. And I got to make sure I drive the speed limit. And I got to make sure I'm on time to work every day. And I got to make sure I put in enough hours at work. I got to make sure that I reach a certain age before retiring. I got to make sure that I have enough money in my 401k to survive. I got to make sure that I make $114,000 as a single adult in New York State to make sure that I survive. But they can't. And take all of our money to pay people to. And if they don't buy them, but make sure you pay your taxes.
So can somebody please explain something to me? What the fuck is going on with energy in Virginia? Because something to me is just not making sense. Every single electric bill I'm getting is looking like this. This is how all my electric bills are looking. How is it humanly possible that I was using 1,500 and less kilowatts every single month in 2025, 2024, and 2023, but somehow I'm using 5,000 kilowatts of energy now in 5,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000 the last 4 months? Something doesn't make sense, bro. And every time I call Dominion Energy, they tell me that I'm tripping. I need somebody to help me understand how a human can use 5,000 kilowatts when I'm never home. Never home. I don't use TV, I don't use heat, I don't understand. But this is getting to the point where I can't I don't know what to do with this shit, bro. Somebody help me.
I can't keep doing this. Like, what the is even going on? Everything that's happening and having to still go to work every day and pay bills and rent and stress about money and go to work and pretend like everything is normal. This shit's not normal. And I don't know how much longer I can do this. It's like eating me from the inside out. Why aren't we doing something? What the you guys?
Hey, so Duke Power reported profits of $5 billion yesterday. $5 billion. And now they're pushing to raise energy rates here in North Carolina by 18%. 18%, right? Can you imagine that conversation at the board meeting? Yeah, we just recorded record profits of $5 billion. Well, what's next on the agenda? I don't know. Let's raise the energy rates by 18% to make it $7 billion next year, right? Energy's not a luxury. Like it's not a subscription. It's not a Netflix that you can just cancel. Yet here we are again, just flat out bending over for these monopolies. Just bending it, and there's nothing that we can do about it, right? Yeah, well, you could go off the grid. Yeah, sure we can. Sure we can. But with all the advances in society and where we're at these days, how far we've came, so to speak, why the fuck would we want to do that? Like, why the f- would we want to go back and living in huts with no electricity? Because at this point, I'm seriously considering it. Seriously.
America is a work until you die country. I just had a conversation with an individual because I'm looking for jobs, and this individual had my resume, and they were asking me, what is this gap here from this month to this month? That's when I was traveling, right? That's when I was actually experiencing life. So I took about 6 months and I traveled the year of 2025, and I told them this, right? I elaborated, and they go, interesting. And then when they were kind of reading back to me what I had said, they described it as a hiatus. I didn't really know. I've heard the word. I didn't really know the exact definition. I Google it. So it's a break or a pause in something, right? That's the loose definition. Can you explain to me how stepping away from the matrix, from the system, from this god-awful corporate nonsense country that we live in, to actually experience real life for just like 6 months out of my 27 years, they describe it as a hiatus, a break or pause in what? In what? Being an employee, being a worker ant? Like, that's how they view it. They view like doing real life things as hiatuses, as a break or a pause from the real timeline. These individuals are twisted. It's not their fault per se, but they're grown adults that are just so warped because of the system that they grew up in and could never figure it out, that this is wrong, this is unhuman, this is bizarre. Like, that's bizarre. You're bizarre. I'm not bizarre. I'm trying to be healthier. You're bizarre.
Yo, I think I found the solution to lowering my electric bill. And this is not something fake. I'm going to keep it real with you. I think I found the real solution to lowering the electric bill. I paid the electric bill that was about $800 something. What was it? Last month? Yeah, last month. So I'm still hurting from the back a little bit. Somebody got me. But I think I figured out how to lower my electric bill by a whole lot. And the only way I'm going to be able to lower my electric bill is certain things you're going to have to do. And I'm going to break it down to you. The things that you're going to have to do, you might not want to do, you might not look to do, but you're going to have to do it. And so if you want your electric bill to go from 800 or 1,000 down to about, I'm going to say maybe around to about 150, 160, follow these steps. Go in your house, hit the first room that the light is on. Hit that light. Go to your kitchen, unplug your major appliances. Go to your bathroom, make sure that light is off. Go to your other room, your bedroom. Disconnect everything, your alarm clock, everything. Go to the second room. If you're lucky, you don't live in a damn one of them halfway homes or whatever, and you turn the lights off in that room and disconnect everything in that room. Basically, the moral of I'm slow right now. The moral of this story is your ass gonna walk around in darkness. That's basically the whole point of this. You gotta walk around in complete darkness, pitch black. Turn everything off, disconnect everything. When you walk in the crib, I don't give a damn what time it is of the day. Dark, complete darkness. I don't give a damn if it's -5 like it is right now. You gotta walk in the house with your heat off. Your nuts gotta go back up into your body like it's a belly button. You gotta go in a home like you homeless. Walk in that house, you got to be able to say stuff in your house like, I can't believe I got to live like this. And you got to see the smoke coming from your mouth from being in a house that is completely cold and dark. That's the only way you're going to be able to save on these damn electric bills. This shit is ridiculous. It's no reason why a damn electric bill through 1 month should be over at the most, $350. Why are you spending $6, $7, $8? Why am I spending a couple $100? I had to spend $800 something. Dog, this is rigged. It's no reason why people, I thought it was just me. I did. I'm not lying. I thought it was just me. I thought. Until I realized when other people commented, when I put that post up months ago, and I said, shit, you are kidding me. It's no way the electric company is running rampant.
So, guys, I think white people are, the very definition of people that do not listen. Yeah. Because looking at these videos, sometimes you wonder, you don't even know what to say, because why do people allow themselves to vote against their own interest? Why do they allow themselves to do things that they know too well could harm them, will harm them? Now, when I'm talking about this, you obviously know the direction that I'm taking this issue towards. White people have a problem of not listening, a problem of not believing, a problem of not trusting until it happens to them. I remember during the times of the elections, black people were all over the place, on social media, on broadcasts. They were talking about these things and trying to educate the rest of America and Americans that you should be very concerned about a few things before you vote for the person that you want to vote for. This is not to mean that you are they are prescribing for you who you need to vote for. They're actually just trying to give you information that you need, that is important for you to know before you make that decision, because that is your decision for a few years. Yeah, it will cost you a few years of your life if you do not make sure that you're careful about the decision that you're making. Now, these white people were dedicated to not understanding. They were dedicated to not, getting the explanation. They were just about their own business, and only one thing concerned them. And sadly, the thing is just, the racial wars as always. They wanted a white person. And I do not know if this is stemming from the fact that the previous president was a black man. I don't know, but I think there has to be something in connection to that that made them feel the need, the push, the urgency to vote in a white man. I don't know the logic behind that, because you as an adult, the reason why you are even capable of casting that vote is because you're an adult and you are able to make a decision, an informed decision, an informed choice. Now, for you to go and vote for someone simply because they're white, without caring about what is in their head, how they reason, their thought process, the things they have done in the past, the activities of every day, and without you considering all those things, somebody's leadership strategy, like how they talk, how they react to things, how they handle people, how they handle children, those were the little things you're supposed to look at. You're supposed to look at people's track records, look at what they have done in the past, look at how dangerous that was, look at how that can impact America now if you elect that kind of a person. Look at what people are saying about this person. There are reviews all over the place. People always have stories. You might not have heard about it, but there are many people that know something that you don't. Listen to them. Make sure that you have all those things in your brain, in your mind, before you cast that vote, because your vote is going to uh, work for years. Yeah, it's going to work for years, and you do not want to waste away your 4 or 5 years simply because you did not pay attention to a few of these things. Now, that is exactly what white people did. Black people, Asians, Latinos, many people, and I'm not saying that there are no people from other races that voted for President Trump. I am well aware that there are many people that actually did. Even black people, black people are my friends, but I know that some of them actually did others dirty by going against their wish and just voting against your own interest. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I do not know how someone gets themselves there. This is going to cost you your life, and we're not talking about 1 year or 2 or 3. We're talking about a whole whopping 4 or 5 years of your life. And the things, the way they are in the current world, You do not have time to waste. You do not have a year to waste. Now, leave alone 5, 4 years. These guys decided that since black people have had the privilege of having a black president, they are going to vote in their own, despite everything else, despite all the things that people were talking about, complaining about, warning them about. They went ahead and did that. When he was elected and he was announced the president, they were so happy. They made videos, being celebrating, being happy about their choice, being, making America great again, and all that. You saw all that. A few years later, only a few years later, they're here again with tears in their eyes. We were so wrong about this. Black people told us that this would happen. We did not listen. I love the fact that they are actually acknowledging their mistakes and they are owning up their mistakes. But did you have to wait until now? Did you have to wait this long for you to realize that black people were only caring for you? They're only caring for your interests. They're only caring for their interests. They were caring for everyone else. While you were thinking about only black people, only white people, and what they would benefit from the racism of the president, black people were paying close attention to the fact that he is the person that is elected is going to be the people's president. When you become president, you're supposed to be presidential, and part of you being presidential is learning that you are the president of the people. Doesn't matter if they voted you in or not, doesn't matter if they like you or not, whether they are your race or not, all those things. You're supposed to just let go. You're the president, be presidential about it, and do the right thing. Now, that is not what is happening in America currently. Look at the situation. President Trump is not paying mind to what people are saying. As white people are complaining about the living standards, the high cost of living, the inability to even afford food, rent, and clothing, the basic things that a human needs to survive. He's not saying anything. He's not talking about it. He's not concerned. He's not caring to know how his leadership and reign is affecting people. He is busy with his business, and that is exactly what black people told you. Black people told you that this guy is only concerned about his millions and billions. He's concerned about making his billionaire friends happy, making himself and his family happy, having fun and enjoying his time as president. Now, you ignored all that. It fell on deaf ears, and black people, they rested their case and decided that if this is what you've decided, then let's see how that unfolds. True to their word, this is happening now. Everyone is the verge of just losing it because the economic times are bad. The economic depression is hitting really hard. Look at the fuel prices. Gas is not even something you want to think about. You wake up in the night and think about it, you lose your sleep. Yeah. So, and food, people can barely afford groceries. People are just, going through the most right now. And there is even a surge in mental health crisis. And, all these things are just one because people going through those kind of harsh economic times is not easy. And being in America, you're just one rent away from being homeless, and you will definitely be homeless if you don't take care of that. People are having to take many jobs than usual for them to just sustain a decent life, and they're tired. Have you seen videos of white people, talking about they want to leave America? I don't know where to, but they just want to be out of America because it has become too much. They can barely afford anything. They feel foreign. They feel like they don't even understand whatever is happening anymore. And to think that the person they elected is not even saying anything about it, not even concerned, not bothered at all. That hurts deeper, I think. That must really hurt because they voted him in because they knew they would be taken care of. They did not care about the black people that would be, sort of just put aside and nobody cares about what is happening to their lives. They thought about themselves and how they were going to benefit from his reign. Now, to their surprise, utter surprise, they are not any important. They are not any special. They're going through the same thing. Only problem is they are not used to it. Black people are used to it and they know how to navigate their way out. Guys, I'll see you on my next video. Bye for now.